2M at 5 against DRX. That alone will be an accomplishment, and it looks very likely today. Now, keep in mind, this comp from T1, DRX kind of broke it apart, and a big way they did so was by choosing attack first last time.
That's right.
This time it's not double duelist, but we'll see how it goes. Kilios mentioned, of course, they have done this before. This has played the Brim. Actually, a bulk of those 5 times, it was at Masters Copenhagen last year, where they were running the same exact comp, just with Chamber being put into the composition.
T1, they've already experimented with this pretty unique comp here. I guess we have to figure out, how effective is this going to be against a team the caliber of DRX? Because new ideas can be great, but sometimes when the executions are just so strong, from the opposing team, it might not matter. Zeta over here, just at B long, ready to try to intercept the push.
Yeah, it's just going to be a fast spot with a 0 point. The toxic screen cannot go up. Meanwhile, Mako already spots one in showers as well. So DRX is very well aware of the setup here, and Buzz tries to charge through on the smoke, but Zeta's going to get the first kill.
4v4 now. We've still got Munchkin up by Hookah.
All right, Munchkin's going to actually just exit out just to see if anyone kind of jumps through on the window. The big contention is going to be elbow right here from Carpe.
Stacks ready over here.
Oh, a nice crouch from Carpe. He gets the first tag and just swings right back out. Well, now the pinch can happen from T1.
Oh, this is manageable, but Mako gets the drop.
Oh, so, yeah, I mean,
keeps it going here.
T1 just not aware of the angles that they're holding.
Just Munchkin left over. Not impossible, not going to be easy. Mako peeking out at the last second, gets that kill. DRX starts it.
Okay, I mean, listen, it started with a bit of a mishap from Buzz, but the idea remains the same, right? If you throw out the KO 0 point, you shut down, whether it's, the Viper, the Sky, or the Gecko, all 3 of those high-value targets for that 0 point, basically to get rid of their abilities. And after that, you can waltz in and go for the plant. They already had information about showers as well, so they were well aware of that. And they never really quite gave away elbow entirely, right? Sure, Carpe got the initial kill, but he wasn't healthy enough to continue pushing through.
Right, Saya here with the Marshall coming out of showers, but nobody's there to get this shot connected to. Instead, it's going to be more and more tension built up over here by Fountain.
Yeah, now, of course, the orb going over to ban as well. So just trying to get whatever advantages they can early on. Triple Bulldog on the side of DRX. They will continue to try to snowball this advantage. And look at this. I mean, just by not doing anything, they're continuing to draw out a lot of the utility that T1 has, which really is all they have to work with here on an eco.
Saya's actually now maneuvering through the very, very middle. And if they do end up seesawing back over here towards the A side, that could be an interception. But I'm seeing right now DRX continue to press forward over at B.
Yeah, but T1's ready for this. Like you said, because of Saya's position, they have now stacked on to B. DRX still has time to rotate over if they want. They're trying to get the 0 point, and they will catch one, but the screen can still go up. Purposely, Zeta, was hanging back, and they think they've chased DRX away enough.
Oh, this is really unfortunate, because now they realize they've been out-positioned by themselves, essentially. And so they're going to have to rely on just the hallway alone to try to recover from this.
Oh, man, I cannot blame T1, right? I mean, you're basically picking 50-50s on these ecos, just choosing to stack B initially, and you think, okay, maybe they'll rotate over, and you try to all get a head start, but trying to anticipate that the teleport's going to come through, but at the end of the day, DRX says, no, we had no intention of doing so. Oh, the Dizzy just being thrown right out through the vents.
Oh, and it's going to be a bit of a trade out there. It's just Zeta left over here. And I don't think he's going to be able to get much done here. 1 HP and a dream.
Toxin screen down.
And just seeing if he can pick off one extra kill.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be happening here.
Gun here.
Oh, Buzz just trying to go back in. He was asking for the prince. I was like, why is Buzz doing that? Like, what's going on here? But he's like, well, I'm low health. I might as well go in, try to get that extra kill.
So it's kind of a modest buy round there for DRX. They didn't go too hard into it.
Yeah, I mean, Triple Bulldog's just kind of right in the middle of the line there, right? So if you want, you can snowball that forward. But the other two, they leave on pistols. They've been doing this, so see if that can continue to work. Just one more map for DRX, cheering for Buzz here, see if that can come true.
Look, you're on camera.
They're on camera
Hello.
with the little Timbers hat. Of course, they're selling all Riot merch here at the shop. So the Tactibears are there, but so is Timbers from League of Legends.
Okay, the bird was sent out, but they were all hiding behind the corner. We may have a little bit of pressure built up over here at B. And there's going to be a push out. It looks like it's going to be... Oh, Saya just
Saya!
gets two. What?
Oh my God, what a recovery there.
That was wild. It looked like that certainly should not have gone that way initially.
Oh, well, Munchkin is stunned out, but Saya's there to cover for him. Saya is everywhere. Just the paint shows just to buy time. He actually gets quite a bit of a tag on to Stacks.
All right, Zeta going through elbow now.
Oh, and I love the elbow play, right? Instead of just trying to flood sight, you just say, well, we have the numbers advantage. If we keep them surrounded, what could they possibly do?
So this is going to be a plant inside the tube. Stacks is going to try to pull out from the outside. Saya could try to come forward here. RB doesn't have to leave the tube anytime soon.
Yeah, they did hear the guiding light over in Garden, so they know that the sky is out there. Stacks already down, and the pop flash, Saya says, I'll just pre-fire.
He was killed before the flash even went off, unfortunately. So that's going to be a defuse. Nicely done. The first win on the board here for T1. Yeah,
I love the push out from Saya, right?
It was shocking though the way it actually went down. It looked like it was going to be the exact opposite. He was going to be picked off, but he's so good at just flicking.
Well, he gets that, and he immediately repositions, get the stop as well, so that his spray doesn't bounce all over the place. Resets his aim for Mako. Now, I'm curious to see if T1 will continue doing this, pushing out of hookah, because here's the thing. Last time that DRX really shut down T1 in the first half on the attacking half was by constantly pressuring B long. They just constantly threw the 0 point out and then pushed in and said, okay, well, we're coming in, and they just broke open the site. One of the ways you could try to combat that is to push out of hookah and try to get the flank immediately.
This time around, DRX really going to take their time. You have a poke over here in the showers.
Oh, Saya's not aware of the close.
Oh, and his gun's not able to be drawn in time as he threw the paint shells out.
Oh, that's just excellent bait by Buzz.
Yeah.
Entirely planned out by DRX to plant Stacks forward. And Buzz just continues to spray to try to, kind of bait Saya into staying a bit longer than he should have. Oh, the Seekers are immediate. Munchkin actually just goes right in, trusting his pop flash, but he has been caught up by the Seekers. Oh!
He just can't find anything. Just Ban and Zeta. Now just Zeta alone left over on the B side of things. As it looks like it's probably just going to be a third round win here for DRX.
Well, I was going to say, it was a funny joke when the desk was talking about how everything's just going to be blinded and covered here in this map. But right there, the observer switched to like 4 different people, and all of them had something going on their screen.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a double push into A, split between the Viper screen, but then we saw Munchkin try to actually push right through showers, completely blinded and shut down. But a lot of momentum built up here for DRX. It doesn't seem like the team comp is working out for T1 just yet. Obviously, we're very early on here in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, this comp, let's be very honest, its strength is not on the defensive side, right? I mean, it works very much when you have the initiative to push forward and take the map just 1 inch at a time. Use the Harbor and the Viper to kind of close off the areas, and then you have the Gecko in the sky. The reason it works so well on attack is not just because you can cut up the map, but really because you have Gecko plus Sky. So many of your skills and abilities are on a cooldown that refreshes. So that way, you can continue to just kind of inch forward. But on defense, it's like, well, if we use it early to try to push out, unless we can really take that space, which as defenders is always a risk to push out, can we ever recover the Gecko abilities for that cooldown? I mean, there's all these other considerations. What if we have to go for a sudden retake and DRX strikes faster than we wanted and our cooldowns aren't, back?
Saya is set up here if he needs to use a showstopper towards the entry of Hookah. I would imagine DRX is already going to sense that could be a risk and not try to really go into that area on the map.
Yeah, and Zesk just continued to jiggle peek because Saya had that push out earlier. So DRX just saying, all right, I mean, the sky's there. Usually that's where Saya's been playing. Now, T1, one of the other weaknesses of this composition is they don't have a great way of pushing out of showers, right? Unless you commit the Sky, Harbor, and the Rays onto A and kind of give up B long. There's not a great way. They're just putting up cascades just to buy time, and Carpe's watching that from behind. to cover that weakness, they now have Zeta over here in A Heaven.
Are they going to try to just shove right into A? Buzz gets in, sees this isn't really covered by any one gun.
The dizzy swing out, but Zeta not able to get the kill initially.
Yep, and Zest is going to get this plant off over here. They do have Saya coming here from the bottom. Remember that showstopper is going to be ready. Carpe gets the drop on his Zest.
Yeah, but look at the flank coming in from Stacks. He's actually rotated out of showers. He stitched it to regroup with his teammates. Saya's not going to be ready for... Oh my God! I take that back! He is so ready for this! What in the world?
Saya is just on another level. It's unreal.
Oh, they spot Buzz. Bands there for the cover. And they have sight of RB. What a retake, and it all opens up with Saya on that quick swivel onto Stacks.
I could not believe that swivel. That was just incredible there. I knew Saya had a shot. I mean, Saya didn't even have to use the showstopper there to recover that.
Which is the other crazy part. Is I thought as soon as he got the kill onto Stacks, he would have gotten the showstopper ready to go.
I think most players would, right? You think, okay, we've started that momentum.
Yeah, sorry, that clip is just mind-blowing. But yeah, I agree. I would have thought, okay, he's going to double blast pack with the showstopper, break up the site, and he just says, no, my gun's good enough. Wow.
Well, we've got showstoppers on both sides this time around here. This T1 has scooped up the second win.
Okay, so using one of the blast packs early just to get the quick jump over the box and tries to get whatever damage he can. Now, nothing found there. Oh, and the judge shuts down Buzz, but meanwhile, Mako was waiting on the lurk and just catches. Saya player completely unaware as he's recovered a weapon now.
All right,
Carpe's already here.
Carpe's ready, and he gets the first. There's a second around the corner,
and he's seen the third as well. Oh my God! The individual mechanics on T1 is insane. I just can't believe it. I mean, we knew all these players were good throughout their own careers, you know, whether in Valorant or elsewhere, whether in Korea or elsewhere, but my God.
I mean, it's really something to admire here.
Oh, and then Carpe now plays it safe. I mean, just the decision-making here, right? Because earlier, the idea is, well, whatever extra kills I can get buys extra time for my teammates to come on the rotate. If I can drop the spike, you know, and I just heard the teleporter, I have that information. But now he's like, well, no reason to greet it. Also, no reason to potentially give that kill, give Mako the Viper's pit, and then allow him to maybe plant for free with a pit coming out of showers. I mean, the instant decision-making is very good from Carpe and the rest of Team 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's so impressive here. Honestly, I love the way that you point out that T1 individually is just so strong.
Yes.
Any one moment that there's a T1 player that needs to deliver, needs to get a triple kill, or needs to pull off something incredible, they are able to do it.
Yeah.
They can function independently from each other so damn well.
And the crazy part is then we look at, you know, we compare them with a team like Paper Rex. Paper Rex is a team that really feeds off of that individual mechanics, whereas T1, they rely on the other stuff, right? The macro strategy, and etc. But the fundamentals are there to create these heroic moments to make sure they can stay in the game. I mean, the way they function is entirely different. And quite frankly, this style with these players on T1, this might have been just what Korea needed to challenge DRX to continue improving the entire region as a whole.
So now we have it tied up 3-3. Saya's ready with the operator, probably going to poke into showers.
All right, he doesn't get it by the guiding light. Now, looking at the positioning from T1, though, they could be very ready to just push into showers if they need to create space. No, they hear the noise early. They're just going to back up, just trying to hold on to backside. Prepare for hellfire. Oh, there was a bit of a mishap, it looked like, with the blast packs there. So DRX going to be completely funneled out of the default plant position. Buzz takes a lot of damage, and he's taken down by the paint shells.
Right, Mako is going to get that plant off. Whole area completely smoked out, and Viper's Pit's only going to complicate that further. RB still lurking. Oh, shot down there from Carpe. Good spray.
They're trying to get us around, and then Man waits with the shorty as well. Because they've pushed out, they started inching into the pit. He's just waiting for someone to push against him. Oh, and they know where Stacks is as well. Munchkin just calling for backup.
Just no way to make that work. I mean, Stacks the last one left. And let's point out what an expensive loss that was there for DRX.
Yeah, Orbital Strike being used, Viper's Pit being used. And then, you know, they tried to just get in. They drop all their weapons, a flawless in favor of T1. And I love the idea that they had no intention of ever pushing into lamps unless they saw people funneling out of it the other way, right? Band's just there to cover their back. They already had multiple angles on the pit. They already had Munchkin coming on the flank. And T1, their map positioning is looking a lot better than the last time they played against DRX.
They're being very patient. They're basically waiting to get confirmations on the other positions from their opposing team. We saw that timeout called here from DRX. I don't think this should be a shock to anybody, but that was an expensive and brutal loss for them. I mean, it's going to be a very difficult next couple of rounds, and no doubt T1's going to continue to find opportunities of their own because of how efficiently they shut down that round.
Yeah, and one other thing I do want to point out is one thing that T1 has been doing well is that no matter from where it begins, they're always sending someone out on the flank. Because this is a Brimstone Viper composition, we're going back to the middle of 2022 when Valorant and VCT was riddled with post-plant lineups. T1 says, well, as long as someone is on the flank, they cannot get comfy all the way out of the site, right? Brimstone and Viper can't just hide in their little corners with their little lineups. They'll always have to kind of just fight us and try to win these duels in the site. And they're creating that pressure. Curious to see, was this talked about during the timeout? DRX, do they have an adjustment for it? And do they have better flank management even if they're able to get onto the site?
We've got a push down here from B. They're going to let the Gecko farm out the orb.
Oh, Saya getting caught by the 0 points, unfortunate, because here's the thing, they made noise on the orb, and then no one got hit by the guiding lights, so this
he's going to go for it.
Oh my gosh,
he's just going to go.
They're sending out guiding lights to continue for this, and a bit aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like it, though, even though it doesn't pay off.
Whoa, I don't know about the Trailblazer right there, Munchkin.
Oh, it's a jiggle-peeking dog right now.
Well, you know what? He actually uses it in the best way possible just to buy time. I was afraid that he might get caught unawares.
Well, they're going to keep Munchkin right over here towards the entry.
Oh, and the Dizzy being used on top of the guiding light. If they have both tagged, there was a possibility that Munchkin tries to push out of that high tide, but now Dizzy unable to be recovered. And this is why this comp, it does get a bit weaker on the defensive side.
They're going to see, this is basically a naked site. T1 going to try to go for a retake here. Mako going to eventually wrap back around here with the rest of DRX to meet up with this, but this is going to be a very impossible round here for T1 if they try to actually come here and recover it.
Yeah, they do have a lot of cred, so maybe they go for it. You could even potentially go for the Thrash, although I don't know. There's still 5 members on DRX. I don't think the value will be very good. So it looks like just more Cascades just to cover the angles. Trying to get an early pick. T1 knows that if they can't get an early pick, if they can't dwindle the numbers, this isn't looking very good.
Yeah, and Buzz gets the drop on him. At this point in time, it's just Carpe here. Now pinged.
He just takes a hit on his elbow as he's trying to walk through the wall, or behind the wall as well. And it'll just be a save. Obviously, creds are fine on T1, but it's already looking nigh impossible. Zeta just potentially looking for a kill, but they won't walk out of the teleporter.
Yeah, you could see Mako was, Zeta was going to be ready for that there.
Wow, yeah, I mean, T1, they tried to go for, this fan, his last match he can watch for DRX before he has to go into mandatory military service.
Yep.
And meanwhile, we have someone who is on vacation from military service. You're looking at your future, buddy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, every able-bodied Korean has to do their service out here.
Well, all right, so T1, they try to get that kind of preemptive read off of DRX's timeout. I almost said vacation, off of that timeout with the aggressive operator. It doesn't pay off. And they're not going to buy back another operator. They're just going to sit on their rifles this time.
Now we do have a Viper's pit ready here, if need be, for T1. So they may let them build up as close as possible over here to B. And there it is. They're going to set that off. And the best that they can do from here is try to get that orb. Doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to try to push, and at least not just yet.
Yeah, but look at Saya's position, right? They know that the logical play here is to rotate over to A. Even Band, they're going for the crossfire. They want to actually get the preemptive picks here just to dwindle the numbers. Now they're happy with that. And the blast pack to secure their exit.
Yeah, a good infiltration in there, and then a great escape back out, just thinning those numbers for DRX out.
Yeah, and now they can wait for the retake, right? They have the Thrash. They have Munchkin rotating over for the 4v4. T1 is playing this very methodically. I mean, DRX, they don't have many other options. Just got to send the Seekers at 30 seconds.
They're going to try to force their way in here. Oh, my God, big shutdown here. Saya is just so on top with the gunplay. Huge shutdown. T1 now 5-4.
Holy.
Making it look easy. I mean, I thought it was going to be more of a trade than that.
Yes, I thought so too. But one of the biggest things was as soon as the Seekers were called here from Stacks, T1 immediately answers with Carpe's Thrash. And that forced DRX to really have to rush off of the Seekers. They could not wait until locations were found and all utility could be dumped. They had to just fly in, and Buzz, he's trying to get above so he can get way into backside to create space. Saya just knocks him right out of the air. And now T1 back in the lead, 5-4.
Much more of a back and forth here in this first half. Looks like they're going to at least push away defenders on B by a little bit. Munchkin's going to maintain this position. And at least get the orb.
Yeah, Munchkin's always kind of taking this high risk to just stand out in the open for as long as possible to try to get an early pick, just to hold them off while he is 0-pointed, right? While he cannot use his abilities. And then once backup arrives, he kind of leaves space. Now, Saya taking over Luka.
All right. They're going to try to come into B right now. They've already sent Buzz in.
Buzz has no idea that Saya's here. Saya's hidden under the high tide. He's only good for one kill, though.
Yeah, so they trade out. It's going to be up to Elbow and Door here. A pretty tough position. When you don't have anybody coming from the other side, it's very hard to try to get control here.
Yeah, there's no one to go for the flank either, T1. They're just going to have to win duel for duel.
All right, Stack still ready here on the side. Van does get the kill into Buzz.
Yeah, the
Fracture
Bosch
in their position. They're going to be able to break in now.
They know one's in the tube. Zest stays alive for now. And it's all down to Mako.
Just Mako left here. He gets one. He does not get the second, unfortunately so. And with a few more seconds remaining, T1 will get that defused. They're going to go up 6-4.
Oh my gosh, you know what I just realized? Is that they would have wanted Ban to get that defuse for his ultimate, but because the wingman was already activated, you just had to let him sit.
You're going to knife the wingman.
Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, wait, why does Ban, like, is Ban just joking? And then I was like, oh, well, I guess he was also celebrating. They kind of knew the round was in the bag, but there's no way to stop that, I guess. Once the wingman's on the spike, the only way he's letting go is if he dies.
Saya ready now with another showstopper. By the way, Saya has been so on point in these fights, especially on this map. It's been wild.
I mean, 11-6, no assists. He is just out there getting kills on his own, making it happen. I mean, of course, with the support of his teammates, but he's not letting anyone kind of escape, right? His crosshairs.
Now, DRX did not engage with the B side whatsoever. And so they weren't able to find any information from T1's peeks out.
I do also find it so curious that DRX is just now getting on to the half-armor meta. I mean, not a lot of Pacific teams really buying into it during the regular season as Mako breaks open the site. DRX says, you know what, there is a reason this works.
Well, you can see Saya sees some out there. Carpe gets a great drop on a Mako.
And now that they've had this early kill traded out, they can hold on to showers. So A site feels a lot safer for T1. Now it's just about B. Munchkin's so low, though. Can he get a kill here?
Oh, man, Munchkin gets at least one here and really doesn't take much damage, escaping out through the window. Buzz on the hunt. Can't find him.
Oh no, and the showstopper used just to hold them off, and DRX, they cannot enter here, and Buzz dies as well!
Oh my god, T1 is firing on all cylinders here.
Oh no, the paint shells. No answer to that.
Unreal, unreal, man.
I mean, T1's looking so just methodical and calculated here on the defensive side, which I've talked about was their weakness with this composition.
And they know exactly when to push out and then collapse back. They're never overextending by being occasionally aggro on the defender side.
Yeah, what impresses me is that the way they're shoring up their defense, their defensive half rather, is by just simply playing the map. It's off of fundamentals again. Like you said, they're not overextending, and they're really understanding, okay, if we push and pull on this side of the map, what does it mean for the other side? If we get this kill, can we secure showers? Things like that. The way they are moving after each initial contact has been so clean.
All right. Oh, here we go. Showstopper set up, and I mean,
He still gets him.
He gets him, but the real story here is Carpe is just cleaning up.
Yeah, Carpe's still alive. He's just hiding in that smoke. Mako, he's caught in the reckoning. He does get stunned. Oh, there's one corner. Carpe, he survives.
It's just Zest left over here. In a 1 versus 4, this is the final round in this half. He's going to run through B.
No, you go back
And
to
he's
A.
gonna loop around.
Yeah, you go back to A. But look at this. T1 says, well, we got 4 people.
Yeah.
Hey, Carpe, just wait and see what happens.
Now, you know, he could get the kill on a Carpe and maybe in some kind of 1 versus 3.
I mean,
Try
it's
to do it.
possible.
Let's not forget the last round on Haven. How close that was. That was a 1 versus 4 as well.
Yeah, it's absolutely doable now, but there's so many angles to check. I love that T1, they're not budging at all, right? If Carpe dies here, like, so be it. We still have 3 people. Oh, no! Oh, no, Carpe! Oh, my God.
Well, that's going to be 8-4 now. Every single map we've had has been so close, despite the scores kind of being one-sided to start things off.
Yes, I mean, we've constantly seen just nice back and forth. And, I mean, they even just try to get him out with the overstrike. Of course, it's the last round of the half anyway, but Carpe just cold as steel stays alive.
Now, T1 has had way better pistol rounds here.
Yeah.
In all the maps we've had. And so you got to look at this and wonder, I mean, can T1 get this pistol round win and kind of build that momentum? Maybe we don't have a one-sided map.
It's very much possible. And again, I mean, it's their attack that always looked a bit stronger with this composition. Now, of course, the last time, I mean, not only did DRX get a hefty lead in the first half while they were attacking, they also were able to basically clean up the map towards the later part. But T1, they were able to answer back a bit more once they took the initiative, right? That's what their composition is built around, is just throw out the Gecko util, throw out the Sky util, and then recover it and keep cycling these abilities. I mean, if you really look at how they play these rounds, they can basically send out 2 or more abilities that give them advantageous fights, like flashes or stuns, like every 15 seconds.
Right.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's a ridiculous stat line that they have on their side.
Yeah, and so they're constantly able to take peeks and take risks that other comps wouldn't really normally be able to take. So yeah, we're going to go into the second half. Big picture, everybody. Right now, DRX is up 2-1 here. It's been extremely close maps in every single game we've seen these teams play against each other. And whoever wins here is going to go on to the finals, which is played tomorrow versus Paper X.
Yeah, Paper X, they're just waiting. They're like, so who's it going to be? Who's going to go on the faces? Like, we don't know yet. Oh, man, I can't wait for that one either. Whoever goes up, I mean, that should be a banger of a match, especially because Paper X right now with something who's gelled so well with that roster. They've been looking monstrous here in Pacific.
So T1, the dominant force in pistol rounds with these two teams. Can DRX finally push back on that and start to try to build up their own momentum here? We've got T1 now on the attacking side, DRX ready to defend.
The early Guiding Light, they're just going to eat it. Send the Cascade, send the Guiding Light. Now, this has always kind of been the go-to for T1. However, the difference this time is they're simultaneously digging into showers. They're not dumping all of their util. All right, they get spotted, so they back out.
Oh, we barely caught that. Mako just getting that kill onto Zeta. The spike is in showers, but I don't know if it's going to be committed up here. There's a lot of different duels that could be about to occur.
I think T1's trying to just bank on them making noise on B, and I don't know how I feel about that. Perhaps they're also just making way for a potential teleport rotate from Munchkin. They already hold showers. It's a safe teleporter to take.
Yeah, they could just send Brown in to try to take down as many as he can find. Saya gets pinged. I mean, this is getting uncomfortable right now for T1.
Yeah, Munchkin tries to just creep in as well. I mean, T1, they love doing this, by the way. They love just cutting sound and trying to just get a surprise pick onto their opponents, and DRX not going to fall for that trap.
Yeah, Mako going to loop back around through U-Haul. They're going to keep a pretty pulled away
30 seconds
setup.
left.
The wingman coming out for the plant. Is that going to take out the wingman? It does.
Looks like Pan and Carpe double team over there. RB and Mako now out of the picture. The spike is still down. There's not a ton of time here. They need to start to act pretty quickly.
They're going to be able to recover Wingman as well, though. Carpe should have spotted Zest. Both of them see each other, and Carpe just swings out with a frenzy. Oh, Ban's good for one as well.
Oh my God, they do it again! T1 wins yet another pistol round.
6-2 in pistols, Tasteless.
This is wild.
Just dominating the first round of every half. And what a way for this to happen. I mean, you thought as soon as you stopped the plant that DRX should have the advantage, but look at what happens here. Mako gets the first kill, stops the plant, but Carpe just immediately swings around to keep them in, and you can see how much that meant because they were on their back legs there.
Yeah, Carpe staying very fluid positionally and just completely and totally gets that flank off.
And Carpe, the maps they did win with this composition, he wasn't getting a lot of kills. He was always on that just util duty, the plant duty with the spike, with the wingman. Currently, he's topping the board with 15 kills.
All right, Stacks jiggle peeking over here. Munchkin, oh, sees him, can't get any shots to connect.
Zeta just peeking out of his own toxic screen, using that decay and the Spectre to his advantage. This is...
What is happening? T1 is just playing so extremely well. Zest comes out, but he's just another trade out as well. RB, I mean, there's probably no way that they can recover this round. This means it's probably going to be 10-4.
There's got to be a timeout here from DRX.
I think so.
Well, especially because what I'm just realizing is T1 is waiting for these 1v1 duels, and DRX is just giving it to him. That's not something that DRX has done that much in the past. They're known to be just really structured, to wait, right, to make sure they have their own set plays. Oh, hey, look, it's Soldom from Detonation Focus Me, just enjoying, looks like a
ice cream bar?
Oh, maybe it's an ice cream bar. It is really starting to get into summer weather out here in Seoul.
This is our different analysis here. You say chocolate bar, I say ice cream bar.
But then we're going to have to fight over
it.
Right.
Well, we're going to have to throw to the analyst desk for that one, William. So a timeout's called. I mean, we saw this coming,
yes,
a little bit ago here. So, yeah, the fact of the matter is that DRX is getting kind of cornered into these 1v1 fights that they're not winning. T1 does appear to be better at sort of this, less utility, more just dry peaks, straight up gunplay.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, I mean, it was an eco round from DRX, and I get it, right? I mean, in theory, that's not a round you're supposed to win, but, I mean, if anything, go for every stack, right? Or just wait on these corners and go for these cheeky kills. The fact that we saw DRX out of their element and trying to, like, peek out and go for these trades with the classics only when T1 is holding these angles that is absolutely advantageous for the Spectres and Bulldogs is just insane to me. I mean, this just tells me how much pressure T1 is putting onto DRX to force them out of their set play element.
It's truly impressive here. And I think if DRX cannot win this round specifically, I don't imagine they're going to recover, despite the comebacks we've already seen here. I mean, it's going to be very, very tough.
Yeah, and if it ends that one-sided, Tasteless, honestly, T1 might just have the momentum going into map 5. And I mean, DRX, the map 5 has always eluded them. You know, they've won cleaner series here in Korea, but internationally, it's always been that map 5 that they could just not close out.
Okay, well, they're just going to spring the attack right over in here. It's a trade out. Buzz getting a double and a triple and a quadruple.
Wow, just holding against that Mosh. He just says, well, I'll go down when I go down, but I take all the kills I can get. Okay, well, a ridiculous kill from Zeta.
Well, that was quite the round. Buzz, a force of nature back there.
Wow.
We also have Showstopper already ready.
Yeah, I mean, with the 4 kills, right? He just racks that up. And this is the type of setup, I mean, that did work well for DRX when they were playing last time as well, is just kind of hide away from the initial points that Dizzy can ping, and then pick them off right as Dizzy falls to their ground, right? Maybe someone can take it out right above the high tide, something like that. So their B-site setups have generally been good. It's up to T1 to figure out how much can you really shake up DRX's defaults a bit more on the A side, force them to get uncomfortable here with the setups on B.
All right, it is a very even split over here. They've got a double push up into showers.
Bomb buddy out.
And you can see there's going to be a bit of a counter push up here from Buzz. You try and see if anybody's coming into hookah. No signs yet. And the Viper wall is completely sealed off the A side from attacker side.
Oh, and yeah, the setup here was so good. They had RB spawning for the box, and Mako's just ready to spray it down. But RB's now caught all alone. He does get another kill.
Let's see. Oh, Zest just taking Ban out.
Spike planted.
Shorty means nothing there.
Enemy remaining.
Oh, and 1 by 1, it seems like DRX is just going to clean house. Carpe, though, you never want to count him out.
Does have that thrash. I mean, best ability you could hope for when you're down alone. Now, unfortunately, it isn't a 1v1. He's trying to get distance. Just trying to buy as much time. He does detain 1. Oh, he actually detains 2.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so he just tries to spray, get them off the defuse. He's trying to check if they're sticking to it. And DRX, they wait until everyone's back in condition to fight.
All right, another very important win. Things beginning to look more and more realistic here as DRX is going to get that 6th win. He's so important here as T1 is so close to that finish line.
Yeah, now T1, I like that they're changing up their tempo and their defaults. Their default used to be dump everything on B long, collect the ult orb, and then decide, do we go into B or do we rotate? However, today, several rounds already in the second half, they're sending Saya player and Carpe just to creep into showers, right? And this is meant to throw off DRS, because all the tape would tell you to really focus on the initial plays from T1 and figure out where they're going to go. But, you know, by getting that showers initially, they can always go for the teleporter rotate a lot safer. They can try to get a better sense of DRX's defaults. However, DRX, Mako's actually playing these aggressive positions in A short, has RB watching for him from behind as well, and they're able to really shut down any sort of intel play on the A side.
Yeah, I love that shot there from Mako, just taking out the other Viper on the box immediately.
Yeah, I mean, the ping coming out from RB, you saw Mako pinging it right before as well, kind of calling for assistance. RB gets the spot, Mako gets the kill, and then RB able to get one more on the site as well, just to even things out.
And today has been the day of comebacks where one team seems to be down and it's looking dire, but somehow they managed to fight back. And DRX is starting to continue that tradition on here on map 4. We've got a showstopper ready as well here from Buzz.
And the orbital strike, so a lot that T1 has to fight against. Now they are, 3 members 1 point away from their ultimates on T1's side. If Saya gets an early pick with the Marshal, we very well could see a quick and explosive showstopper onto the site.
Grenade!
Immediately Saya here with a nade.
Yeah, a lot of contention around these ult orbs, right? I mean, DRX knows that T1, they've got 3 members. Meanwhile, DRX, Stax is also only 1 point away. Mako, 2 points. Oh my gosh!
Oh my god, huge moment there. Almost no scopes a second there, but Cess gets the better half.
Yeah, Cess is so scratched up. Still a possibility here, and DRX is just trying to push out as soon as they hear the orb. They know that that's the only thing that T1 is focused on this round.
What? Carpe, what? What? A double with the Sheriff.
I got the spike.
What in the world? And not even a collab. He just goes for 2 kills. 2 shots, 2 kills.
I can't believe it.
I mean, this is reminiscent of that round on Ascent where he just says, I'll win this, and then he just peeks out and gets the kill.
If I just shoot them in the head before they shoot me in the head.
I mean, hey, that's how it works in an FPS. Now, DRX, the silver lining is the pit's used by T1 Zeta, right? He gets to plant, and then he's able to use the pit right away. So 1 ultimate gone, but of course T1, they are that much closer to match point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they don't need a lot from here. DRX is only halfway to bringing this to overtime. Even more to get it to that 13 number here. T1, look, I mean, it's not going to be easy, but it's also not going to be the most uncomfortable second half from here on out.
No, not at all. I mean, again, you just need 1 more. You're on the attacking side. You have that initiative you can take. T1, they have 2 more ultimates right now. That is a sign for T1 and Carpe, as tired as the fans looked, as the evening continues to extend here. I mean, it has been a long night already. Okay, watch the, oh my god.
Wow.
Just
3 bullets, two shots connect, that's all you need. And this has been consistent with Carpe here today. He is just so good mechanically, especially when he's outgunned, at kind of making the impossible happen.
Oh, now T1 waiting for an aggressive push out from DRX. T1 has been switching up their tempo a lot more than they used to on Bind. And I think that's making DRX quite uncomfortable. DRX, whenever they play bind, they really rely on someone like the Brimstone or the KO bouncing back and forth between A and B as soon as they get contact to provide extra support. But now that they don't really have any info, they have to push out if they want absolute, guaranteed intel. But that's just not what DRX does, and T1's trying to use this against them.
Yeah, DRX being extremely patient here. There's no incentive to try to, over-aggress. Mako gonna just wait right here and
What?
What?
Zeta just creeps in, crouches right below, and gets the kill.
It's just this gunplay that almost doesn't make any sense. T1 just seems to be stronger at making things work for them at times.
Oh no, Saya, he can't make the jump out of the window, and the orbital strike takes him out. But A site somewhat cleared. Now Zeta, he hasn't cleared the entirety of the site. RB stranded right now in the back of site. They tag him. They know he's there.
He gets one, but Zeta gets him back.
Spike down A.
It's not impossible here for DRX, but Zeta could try to intercept them right as they come around the hall.
Yeah, the toxic screen being used by Zeta. He's holding close. You gotta expect this. The boombot comes out.
They know he's out here.
They're both just trying to hide from each other's spray, but Buzz is so low.
Munchkin just confirming that nobody's up by window.
Oh, and okay, so initially T1 thought maybe they come from heaven.
Last player
Oh
Zest?
my God, Zest with the reactions. All right, Buzz with 8 HP. There's not a ton of time left on this clock.
enemy
Oh my
remaining.
God, the ping on the spike is so good, and now it's just Buzz with 8 health.
Toxin screen down.
Oh
Zeta
my God!
Hides in the corner. Takes out his ex-teammate from Cloud9 Korea all the way back to bring T1 to map point.
I love how he just keeps pulling back.
Yes.
He's like, no, more time, more time.
Yep.
I'm further away. And ultimately just lets him walk right into the crosshairs. Gets that kill. I mean, it looks to me like we're going to be going to map 5.
Toxin
I
screen down.
cannot believe it, Tasteless. I mean, I can't believe any part of this. The fact that T1 is bringing them to map 5, yes, was it possible? Absolutely, but at the same time, it's just has not happened in Korea, in Asia, that DRX was given this much of a fight in such an important match.
And DRX has fought back so well, but in this game, T1 seems to be getting in control. T1 continuing to adapt, not just in these games, but through all of VCT Pacific.
Yeah, and
Nobody thought they'd get this far, and here they are,
Yeah.
about to go 2-2 against the Kings of Korea.
yeah, I think that Empire, I think the Empire itself is over, right? Even if DRX is able to eke out this win, it looks like challengers are everywhere right now. Oh no, the Dizzy, but Mako is still able to get the kill. He stays alive and holds on to Showers.
RB hanging back, low on HP. Munchkin gets a double.
Oh,
T1 so close. They're so close to closing this out.
Yeah, they're just opening up the site. With Mechanics and Stacks Answers back.
Stacks has a thing or two to say, but now it's just Buzz. If anybody could do it, it would be Buzz. This spike is ticking. Zeta over here in U-Haul.
Oh, Zeta spots him and he says, I'm not fighting you. We just need to play for time. T1, they're so crafty. Oh, and Carpy's watching the exit first. Oh, this is just not fair to Buzz. We're going to map 5 in the lower bracket finals as T1 ties it up 2